Donald Trump's legal team suffered yet another crushing and humiliating blow on Monday when they tried to file for an expedited appeal of the reinstated gag order against their client. Now, that gag order was reinstated last Thursday, November 30th. They then sat around for 3.5 days before they decided to go ahead and file the motion for an expedited appeal so that they could get it heard prior to Donald Trump's scheduled testimony, which is next Monday, December 11th. And as legal experts have now pointed out, Trump's team made several embarrassing moves that ultimately led to that motion for an expedited appeal to be rejected. Here is what one legal expert, Lisa Rubin, had to say about the many mistakes that Donald Trump's lawyers made. Even with Trump's testimony planned for December 11th, they did not appeal the November 30th order until today, and even then, they did not get the procedure right, asking a single judge to essentially overrule a 4-judge panel. And when told repeatedly that there was nothing they could do to expedite either of their 2 imagined avenues for relief before December 11th, they were visibly frustrated, a la the 1990s film Clueless. Surely you are not the last word on this, they seem to suggest to the court attorney. So the lawyers sat around and waited too long. They could have filed the motion for an expedited appeal on Friday. They could have filed an emergency motion Thursday evening after the gag order was reinstated. They could have filed the motion all weekend. I guess they didn't want to, right? It's a weekend. We don't want to work. So they waited till, midday Monday, take care of some things. And they also said, we don't want the whole New York State Supreme Court to hear this. Like, if you could just give us one judge, even though a 4-judge panel already struck us down, if you just give us one judge, we'd be totally cool with that, which is not how it works. After the 4-judge panel already reinstated the gag order, the next move would, of course, be to have the entire New York State Supreme Court hear the argument. But Trump's lawyers were like, no. We don't want everybody, because that's totally not going to work out well for us. We'd like to just pick which judge we want to hear our case to strip the gag order before this guy has to take the stand again. I know I've said this a lot, and unfortunately I'm going to have to keep saying it. These might be the dumbest lawyers in the world. And yes, once again, we're talking Alina Habba is one of this group. And they're so bad. They're so bad that Donald Trump could probably sue them after this trial for doing so much damage to his case. Because there is not a single thing these lawyers have done since the beginning of this trial that has actually helped their client. They continue to hurt him. They're doing things that are making his life so much worse that a normal good lawyer would not do. Not that a good lawyer would be able to get Trump off on these things, but they sure as hell wouldn't be making his life a living hell. But his current legal team is doing exactly that by routinely at this point, making some of the dumbest mistakes that lawyers could possibly make.